Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. October, November 15th. It is OPEX. All right, so monthly expirations today. A lot of money's going to come off the table. And as usual, maybe we'll look at some large gamma levels to play. And I might finally throw some butterflies on there today. I'd have to look at really large gamma levels that the market's close to and see if I can pinpoint a couple that I probably favor, because that's usually what happens on OPEX, whatever you want to call it. Stocks pin towards the end of the days to large gamma strikes. It happened last month. Right to the tick was Nvidia and Apple. So you can actually go back to the following Monday, and where I show that. Anyway, what do we have going on? So yesterday, market kind of broke balance lows and then kept pushing up. But then Powell talked, and Powell's talk was a little hawkish, where he doesn't feel that cuts, he could slow down cuts or not do as many because the economy's strong, whatever, right? So market didn't like that, and we're gapping down, okay? And we did hit a couple key levels that I will talk about later. Well, I mean, I have to talk about it later. I mean, we hit basically month-to-date VWAP, anchor VWAPs in the Nasdaq in the ES futures. Okay, we also hit basically last month's highs. This was a much-needed correction. We're seasonally in a bullish time, so have to see how this plays out. Okay, we have to see. Now, without further ado, let's get into it here. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structures in the market, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. It's my edge. It's how I look at the markets. That's how I come up with my game plans. It's just the way I like to see data organized on a chart. Okay, it's very easy to see, um, and I like easy. Okay, who doesn't? I want to make this harder on myself. Okay, now I did drop another trading video. Pretty nice trade that I had the other day. Please check that out. Please check that out. All right, you can check it out on my X account. That's at Gonzo719. Okay. Also check out my YouTube Shorts. All right. You can also follow me on TikTok at Gonzo719Trader. These videos are educational. Okay. So you can see why I did them, why I set them up. I know. And of course, leave a comment or a question and I will answer it. Okay. If anybody's interested. Hopefully you guys are. I mean, I would be if I'm starting out trading, right? All right. Now, I do this every day, 8:10 a.m. Hopefully you can come join me, subscribe, and set an alert. All right. Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, water, whatever. Let me catch you up on the market. All right. The recap of what happened yesterday, the news, economic calendar, the leaders and the laggards. All right. Let me help you catch you up on all that, right? And hopefully you can come join me. All right. Also, if you enjoy my content, you can smash that like button. All right. Now, I think we can get right into futures watch list and see what's moving markets this morning. Let's see. So, leading the pack is the VIX. Now, even though we've sold off yesterday, sold off more in the overnight, that VIX is only not even at a 15, even though it's up 4.49%. Okay, it's not even over 15. All right, now, like I said, in the options market, when I look at gamma levels, there's not a lot of uh, negative gamma exposure out there for the indexes, because believe buybacks have buyback windows are back open, and generally this is a bullish time. Funds and portfolio managers do window dressing. It's not called Santa Claus rally for no reason. All right, so and anything can happen. You just got to go probability. All right. So Bitcoin's up 2.72, still, looking good. And the another thing for Bitcoin, it looks like the SEC, I think you call him the president, is Gary Gensler. I don't think he is a big Bitcoin guy, and it looks like Trump is going to replace him. So that's going to be bullish for Bitcoin. All right. Silver's up 0.85, Ether's up 0.26, gold's up 0.24. 10-year yield is kind of flat today. At that resistance point we talked about, dollar's flat, Russell is down 0.05, crude is just bottoming. Okay, crude is just hanging around down there, down 0.10. 30-year bonds being sold a little, down 0.11. The Dow is down 0.37. ES down 0.50, and the laggard here is the Nasdaq, down 0.81. Okay. Now this morning, Applied Materials had earnings in it, and it wasn't the best. So that's a semi. Okay, that's a semi. So now remember, we have Nvidia earnings next week. Let's move on to Mag 7 Plus. Let's look at this morning. All right. Now you got Coinbase. Coinbase was over 300 previously. It's up 2.42 with Bitcoin. Tesla up 0.29. Boeing's up 0.26. Now we just got a bunch of laggards here. We'll start with 50 percenters. Okay, Netflix down 0.51, Amazon down 0.53, Nvidia down 0.55, Microsoft down 0.56, Meta down 0.66, Apple down 0.70. There's a reason for that. Apple. Berkshire Hathaway shed more Apple shares. That's why. AMD down 0.75. That just can't get any traction, right? Large major gamma level 140 was broken. Okay. Broadcom semi down 0.81. Okay. That's the look at Mag 7. Top sector stocks here. Let's check them out. All right, there is a leader here. Uber. Uber is the second largest holding in the industrial ETF XLI. So that's up 0.78. All right. Microsoft. Morgan Stanley's up 0.16. There's not much leaders here. Okay, so let's go to laggards. We have PepsiCo down 0.09, Goldman Sachs down 0.19, Qualcomm, a semi, down 0.79, Snowflake down 0.83, and Salesforce bottoming it out at down 0.87. Okay, now Salesforce reports earnings. When do they report earnings? Oh, not till December 3rd. Okay, now let's look at the swing trade list here. What are we looking at here? All right, Alcoa aluminum, wow, up 7.98%. Now Domino's Pizza, Berkshire Hathaway bought some stock, so that's driving up Domino's Pizza 5.4%. MicroStrategy's up 3.43. Bitcoin ETF would be up obviously 2.92. Riot, these are all crypto related, Bitcoin related. Riot up 2.82, Mara up 2.45, Palantir up 2.23. Now Palantir said they're going to move over from the NYSE exchange to the Nasdaq exchange. I saw GameStop up 2.21, Progressive Insurance up 0.175, Nike's up 1.48. Baba had earnings. They had a nice beats in their earnings. They're up 1.44. Then you got GDXJ, Gold Junior Miners, and not much big after that. Now, who's down this morning? Laggards. Let's look at it. Applied Materials, semi. Okay, down 8.12%. That's going to hurt semis. Okay, Ulta Beauty is down 4.64. Lam Research, a semi, down 3.13. AstraZeneca down 1.72. Palo Alto, IT company, down 1.24. CrowdStrike, IT, down 1.18. I think this is Whirlpool, down 1.12. Trade Desk, down 1.10. And Reddit, down 1.08%. And you got ARM down, Duke down, a couple others. Okay, that's rounding out laggards in that list. Okay. Now, moving on to sectors, the guts of the market. Let's see. There is not a leader, folks. There is not a positive sector on the board. We go with negative sectors here. So, we have financials down 0.12, healthcare down 0.21, communications down 0.27, technology, the largest weighted sector in the S&P 500, is down 0.87. Now semis down 1.04%. They are down. Okay, so that's what's going on in the watch list land. Watch list land. Okay, now let's get into the economic calendar. All right, let's get into the calendar. And let's look at this here. All right, together. Today, we have retail sales, export import prices, Empire State Manufacturing Index at 8:30. Okay, and business inventories at 10 a.m. Now, business inventories at 10 a.m. Generally don't move the markets much, but it comes out at 10 a.m. Okay, that's it for today. Kind of light data for today. Okay, light data for today. Now, we can get into earnings. Let's just look at what reported this morning. Let's look at the close. Yeah, yesterday, Applied Materials applied after the close. AST Space Mobile reported after the close yesterday. That's really it. Now this morning, Alibaba, and really that's really it. All right, so we're going to close that now. All right, that's done for earnings. Remember, Nvidia's next week. Now, let's go to some news here. So Apple stock fell 0.7 after Berkshire Hathaway sold about a quarter of its stake in the iPhone maker. Okay, Tesla stock rose 0.7 after RBC Capital raised its price target on the EV manufacturer. Domino's Pizza stock soared 7.1, and Pool Corporation stock climbed 5.9 after Warren Buffett's company took a stake in the fast food chain as well as a swimming pool supplier in the third quarter. Alibaba ADRs rose 3% after the Chinese e-commerce giant reported better than expected results. Applied Materials stock fell 8.2 after its quarterly earnings missed some street expectations with slowing revenue from China, a key point of contention. Palantir stock rose 2.7 after analytics software provider said it's shifting its listing to the Nasdaq from the New York Stock Exchange. I don't know why that's positive, but it is, I guess. There you go. All right. Now the juice. All right, we talked about global stocks fell. The Fed showed power stimulus. The Fed Reserve was not in a hurry to lower interest rates, and concern grew over the composition of President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet. All right, and let's see here. Yeah, that's really all I want to talk about there. I'm not going to harp on anything else. Let's go to some upgrades here. All right, so upgraded. Let's see here. Twilio upgraded. Interesting. Neutral to a buy. All right, downgrades. We got downgrades. Bluebird and how much there? Initiations. Let's see. Amgen, AbbVie, outperform. Amgen, peer perform. Let's see here. Bristol Myers Squibb, peer perform. Let's see here. Gilead Sciences outperform. Johnson & Johnson outperform. Price target at 190. Eli Lilly, wow, outperform. And a price target of 1,000. Now Eli Lilly took a little dump yesterday, probably because Trump appointed RFK Jr. to head up the health and something science, something like that. And he's definitely going after FDA drugs and stuff like that. So that's why that fell. Merck, peer perform. Moderna, underperform. Pfizer, underperform. And Regeneron, outperform. Okay, Teladoc Health, a buy. That's initiated coverage. Price target changes. Let's look at that. Sometimes this is not the best, but we'll check it out. Target raised. Let's see. All right. PNC Bank, target raised. Palo Alto, target raised. Let's see here. JP Morgan, target raised. Disney, target raised from 115 to 131. Salesforce, target raised. Citigroup, target raised. A lot of target raises here. Bank of America, target raised. Now target lowers. Let's get into those. Applied materials, a bunch of target lowers. All right. That's about it. Rounding that out. All right. I think we are wrapping it up there. All right. We can go right into daily charts. All right. Go right into dailies. Okay. Let's look at what we did in the SPY yesterday. Okay. So we broke these 2-day lows. We kind of found support right here, right? But then afterwards, it went down farther. Okay. Now this was kind of hanging around here before Powell. It wasn't really breaking that much lower. And then Powell pushed it over the edge. Okay. Now look, that's last week's highs. All right. Last week's range is huge. Okay. Now, where are we at now? 590.80, let's call it. 590.80. We are right here. A little under the 9 EMA daily. Okay, yesterday in the futures we filled this gap. We didn't quite do that in SPY. Okay, but we're gapping down in SPY. Now let's look at futures, because futures is a little different, got a little different levels there. Okay. Now, in futures, you heard me say this earlier. This is what happened. Look, we got bought right at last month's highs. Right there. 50.27.25. It bounced right off there. And it's right underneath the 9 EMA daily. Okay. Now, also, I'll show you later, it bounced off the month to date VWAP in futures. Okay. So we needed a correction here, right? This was very frothy. This could be the next move up. Okay. Now Powell did put a damper on it, but remember, we're still seasonally bullish. This could be an opportunity for portfolio managers and hedge funds and whatever to get in some lower prices on some stocks. Okay. Always keep that in mind. All right, let's look at Qs. Now the Qs. Okay, look what it did. It held this candle's lows, almost hit the 9 EMA daily. Okay. All right. Now, where are we at now? 504.80 all the way down here. That's a pretty big gap down. All the way down here. Right? This is a big gap here. So it didn't fill that gap, but it did in futures. So in futures, the gaps were filled. But in the SPY and the Qs, they weren't. In, like, because at 4 o'clock it closes. So where are we now? 504.72, right? Like I said, right down here. Now let's look at the live look of futures so we can really see the movement here. Now look, what did I say before? There's last month's highs in futures. Look where that was bought. So this is going to be a level I'm going to watch today. Okay, right here. That level, very important. Okay, last month's highs. Can it act as support? We'll have to see, right? To be determined, right? All right, now that is that. Now let's go to that triple-headed monster. That 10-year yield is right against that big resistance level. Big resistance level. You can see it, right? Remember I said right here, that 4.47 yield, that is acting as resistance, right? And that's also last week's highs. Last week's highs, right? So it keeps finding resistance there. Now, who knows what's going to happen? Okay? Who knows? But this pretty resistance here, okay? Just have to watch that. All right, let's look at that second head. That is your dollar. And the dollar's been on meteoric rise. Okay, getting some selling today, a little bit. Okay, pushed all the way up here, and now this candle is taking out yesterday's lows, which means the euro is being bought, the yen's probably being bought. Okay, but that's a meteoric rise. Poof, my lord. Okay, keep an eye on that. Remember, higher dollar, not great for equities, not great for commodities generally. Okay, and the VIX, our fear gauge here, yeah, we're at a 14.63 VIX. Okay, that is not very fearful, even though we gap down. Okay, generally because I think this market's bullish to the end of the year. It generally is. It's just how it works. Okay. All right, that's triple headed. Now we get over to the main event. That's our volume profile, our market profile. Okay. Let's do that now. Okay, here we go. We'll go expand this here. All right. So let's get my trusty marker out here. Okay. Now, let's see what we're working with here right now. Okay. Let's go over what happened yesterday. Now, yesterday, I want to show you that level, which is very important. 60.15. Remember, that was the most trade. This is the most traded price of the week. Look what happened. We opened, found, and rejected right there. Right? And once you did that and took out and fell, right, because you're in balance, you kind of took out this balance lows, but then it kept kind of finding support. Okay. Hold on a second here. So let's open this up here so we can really see what happened yesterday. Okay. So I could shrink this to make this thicker. There we go. So if we look at yesterday, right, look what happened. We broke the balance lows right around this area, right here, right? And then there was a little bear trap. I got long in here, right there, and I got about that move in my trade, right? So that in the internals were not pointing to a large move down. So we came down, we moved up, we came down, we moved up, right? And then boom, we went lower, right? And we kind of filled this gap. All right, we kind of filled the gap that was there. That's what happened yesterday. Now, after that, the market continued to fall further. Okay. So let's get back to this profile. Let's open this back up. Okay. So that's what happened yesterday, right? Closed at the lows, right? Right. Price is right here, 59.43. Now, if we look at our profile, now we have thin profile down, and we still have value up here. Most traded price of the week is still 60.15. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, the market needs to establish value down here. Okay, and price needs to bring value lower in order for it to go down. Okay, if price cannot bring value down, price returns back to value. Okay, it's like a bow and arrow. It's like stretched, and if it can't go, boom, goes right back, right? So, or a rubber band. Let's call it a rubber band. Okay, now you do have some volume established right here about 59.45. There's the most traded price of the overnight. Not much of a node here, not much of a high volume node here. Okay, now Here's last month's highs right here, 59.27.25, right there, that big white bar. This is the month to date anchor VWAP. Okay, so that tells me the average buyer is still in control of this month right here. It's green. If this gets violated, yeah, we could, and we go under it, yeah, we could start going to this gap and could start going to the most traded price of the month at the 870. Okay, but if this holds, I think we start making our way back up. Okay, now I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what's going on. Okay, so we are gapping down. So let's talk about a couple levels here. All right, now I'm going to get rid of this gap because that has been filled. Okay, but we're gapping down now. So let's talk about certain levels. Now, gap rules. All right, what's the most bearish? Yeah, you gap and go. That's number one. Number two, you can do a failure to fill the gap, because this would be gap fill right here, around 59.64, and that could also be bearish, right? Number three, you fill the gap and roll over, right? Those are, how you gauge the gap. Now, number four, door number four is if we pushed back, filled the gap, and started going back into range of yesterday, that would not be bearish. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still roll over, but that just tells you, okay, the sellers are not that strong. Okay, so getting that out of the way. Now, let's look at inventory. This is our short activity to all this. That's our long activity to all this short. That is about 75% net short, right? Okay. Like I said, I mentioned last month's highs and the month-to-date anchor VWAP, the monthly anchor VWAP right here. That could act as support today. So the market, can try to establish value here today. We'll see. Nvidia's earnings next week, so there's still stuff. Now that could be bad or that could be really good. So we have to see. All right, now let's look at some levels. Now I'm going to try to look at some nuances here. So of course the 59.64 is our gap fill. That's one we got to look at. All right, now we know we got month-to-day VWAP right here and last month's highs, 59.27.25. We have that. Okay. Trying to see if there's a nuance here. Now we have demand right here, and we have, supply right here, and then we have a demand zone right here. Okay. So really, it's all, now I'll give you one more level. 59.92 is the midpoint of yesterday. That's the 50% retracement of yesterday's move. Kind of lines up with the balanced lows, right? You look to the left. Okay, so that's what kind of we're working with today. And always on a day of a big move and a gap down, we could just do a balance day. We could just digest the move. And today is OPEX. Monthly expiries today, a lot of money coming off the board. So sometimes that causes early volatility followed by the pinning action that I talked about earlier, when stocks pin to large gamma levels. Okay, when stocks pin to large gamma levels. So, all right, let's just get right into it and how I'm gonna look at this today. Okay, we're gonna start off with the bear side, I think, but let's just get right into it. Okay, so of course you get the gap and the go, but that doesn't, that for me, that's not usually something. I'm not going to trade a gap and go, but that's in the cards, right? Just gap and go. All right, that's generally not how I trade, right? I don't like to just chase. So what I would like to see, okay, if I was interested, okay, if if I'm interested. Definitely a push up, right? Let's push up into this area, this supply, see what that does for us. If you get some rejection, you could roll over. Okay, so I want some room between the month to date VWAP and this last month's highs. I don't want to be down here shorting into that for me. Okay, also come up, fill the gap, and let's say we even hit into this supply, reject, and I'm looking for this as well. And then you just hold and see if we really can push down. Now, if we push down through this month to day VWAP, yeah, that's going to be bad. Okay, now the next gap that's unfilled starts at about 5,900. Okay, 5,900, and then still the most traded price of the month is this 58.70. Okay, so I have to put this in the cards because you know, if these average buyer of this month gets underwater, yeah, they're gonna start to liquidate. Okay, so you have to put it in the cards. This is what I'd be interested in. Now, let's look at the bull side. We do have demand here. Okay, so what I want to see, okay, and a couple things that can happen here. A couple things that can happen. We can get a little bear trap here, and where the market rips down, takes out the overnight lows, goes in and tests the month to date VWAP, or right here they're together, last month's highs. Okay, I want to see what the market does and how the internals look and everything, because if we do a little like this and higher lows, I think that's the chance at least to fill the gap. And then it's bonus if we start creeping back into yesterday's range. Okay, to me, I like it. All right, now what else could happen? We could push up into this supply, get rejected into this demand, and hold, and also we can see if we can fill the gap. Right, if we fall all the way down, there's a demand down here. Right, do I really want to long that? I don't know. I have to see. I mean, that would be pretty weak, but who knows? The market could get, want to take profits here. I'd have to really judge that. I like these better. Okay, because if you lose this, I don't want to be trading after 12 o'clock today on a Friday, especially an OPEX Friday. Okay. All right. So that's it for the ES. All right. Hope everybody got something from that. All right. We can move on to the Nasdaq. All right. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Now, Nasdaq, like I said, is an ultimate balance. Ultimate balance here. I mentioned that yesterday. I said big moves come from ultimate balance. Okay. All right. So the Nasdaq yesterday, look what that did. Look at this monster level, right? Right here. It's the most traded price of the month and the most traded price of the week. Let's just call it 211.80. Look what the market did in the Nasdaq. It pushed up right into there, rejected it, and that was all she wrote, right? Then you broke the balance lows here, but the same thing. The market pushed up, and then it almost filled the gap. See this gap? Almost filled it, right? So we have to correct this on my chart, and I'm going to put all the way down to here now is that gap. You still got a little bit left to go. Okay. And that's what it did. All right. Now, overnight, dumped farther. Now, look. You see this here? The month to date VWAP and last month's highs. 207.89. Right. And then you got month to date VWAP right there together. Just like that in the NASDAQ. Okay. So, can this be support? Now you can see Nasdaq's relatively weaker, right? Where it is in the range, okay? Where it is in the range. So this is all about for me to see what we're going to do here. Could be a bear trap, right? But like I said, if we really take out the month-to-day view up, that's the average buyer for the month. They're still green, right? But if you start pushing farther down below that, that means the average buyer from the beginning of the month is going to be underwater, and they're going to have to start liquidating. Okay, that could cause a powerful move lower. So it's all about that level, both in the ES and the Nasdaq. Okay. Now let's look at the yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows. So the gap fill is 209.51.25. That's our gap fill. I don't have to go over gap rules. Okay. So this is a little different story here. Okay. Now look, we opened here. This is the only long to this much short. So in the Nasdaq, you're about 85% net short. The most traded price is here. So this volume here, okay, it is very important. I'm just going to assume they're most likely shorts. Okay, trying to push down price. Now, that's very important because if you're 85% net short, we have, look at this Nasdaq, okay? If you got short here, you're getting paid. If you got short here, you're getting paid. Short here, you're getting paid. Short here, you're getting paid. Those are lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, right? Now we're 85% net short in the overnight. Most traded price is down here. Okay, this looks like setting up for a little bear trap. Now I can't confirm that or deny that until the market opens and I see how weak or strong the market is. But I could definitely see some type of push down, recover, and then the shorts have to cover. Okay, all because of shorts are getting paid. It doesn't mean they can't get paid more. Any sign of a pushback will call shorts to go, I'm out. We just hit last month's highs. I'm cool with my profits. Okay, you got to always think like that. All right. So let's get into it. Right now, here's our levels today. Gap fill 209.51. I think I said right. This little gap is still here. Okay. Most traded price of the overnight 208.50 right here. Any kind of move above that should cause some short covering. Okay. We have our last month's highs 207.89 and our month to date anchor VWAP is just say they're equal. Okay. Right here. This is our level. We got a demand zone here. Okay. So how are we going to play this? Right. So let's talk about the short side first, so we can wrap it up. Okay. So, like I said, volume is accumulating here, and just like in the ES, let me say it again. If price cannot pull value lower, price returns to value. Okay, remember that. So market really needs to hold prices here, and it's trying to do it right here. It's doing a decent job in the Nasdaq. Okay, so even if we get a little reprieve here, open up, push into this supply zone, right? Push into this supply zone. Well, if this falls, this is what I could see could happen. Okay, remember this is a bear case. If we come down here and break through the month-to-date anchor VWAP and last month's highs and the overnight lows, and you start to hold, you're going to take a ride. All right, and the next, you have a demand zone here. You might get some support there, but the top of another unfilled gap is just call it around 206.50. You could start filling that gap. Ooh. Okay. Now we can also get a push up, fill this gap, which would also fill the gap from this morning, push right into this supply, get rejected, and that makes this move. Now that move can maybe that move doesn't go all the way down here. Maybe that move does one of these, and then we just kind of balance off. That's what I'm kind of looking for on a short side. Okay. Now, as far as longs are concerned here, like I said, I like the setup for a bear trap. Now, like I said, I really got to be picky when the market opens with how internals look. What is the leading sectors? What are the weakest sectors? Like if my internals are showing me we're not that weak, right? That could be a bear trap. Why? Because I said everybody's short and getting paid, and we're at major levels. Okay, so what is that going to look like, right? We got our gap fill, right? We got demand in our month-to-date VWAP and our last month's highs right here. Okay, most trader price of the overnight, 208.50. You want to get over that. Okay, so what I could see happening, couple things. I could see a quick pull down, bear trap, underneath month-to-date VWAP, underneath last month's highs, right? You kind of get the last shorts and suck them in, rip up, go through 208.50, and you're going to cook now to at least this supply zone. And if you do one of these, you're going to fill the gap right here. And C, bonus, if you can start going back into yesterday's range. Okay, that would be a nice move. Okay, that could be a nice move. Now, what also can happen is you just push up, come back to this demand, and take off. Okay, that's also in the cards. Now, below here, you have a nice demand zone. It depends how the market is. Like I said, I'm not crazy if the market's falling all the way. Do I just want to start trying to pick bottoms? But this definitely could probably push up into here. Okay, now that's it, folks. That's all I'm looking for today. That's it. All right. So, let me see here if there's any big. Yeah. So that will be it for today. All right. So hopefully everybody understands what we're looking at here. All right. Please, if you enjoyed it, smash the like button for me. That would be much appreciated. Okay. Now, I do this every day at 8, 10 a.m. Hopefully you can come join me. All right. Give you the lowdown. Give you all the information from your boy. All right. From your boy. Now, remember, once that market opens up, I combine the analysis that I get from the live market with the blueprint that I laid out for you guys here. Okay, and then when trades get put on, now I owe you a video from yesterday's trade. I had a trade yesterday. All right, because I dropped a video yesterday evening. Check it out. Okay, check it out. And they're educational. Okay, they're educational. I don't put every trade up there. I put ones that I think that show the confluence that I look for. Okay, you can check them out on my Twitter, X at Gonzo719, my YouTube Shorts, and you can follow me on TikTok, Gonzo719Trader. Okay, Gonzo719Trader. Hopefully you check those out. Right? Give them a like, share them if you want, or ask some questions. All right. Now, we have our plans for today. Remember, today is OPEX. Expect early volatility, and then as the day goes on, and this doesn't happen 100% of the time, but it happened last time, stocks start to pin at large gamma strikes. Okay? And I'll give you one right now that I'm looking at. Let's see here. Like Amazon in 210. And Amazon in 210. Let's look at that gamma for today. Hold on, I'm just moving my window here. All right, let's look at the gamma real quick for today for Amazon. Maybe it's going to show us 215 actually. That's not a good one. Well, maybe that's good enough. Maybe let's see. Apple. Yeah, here's a better one. Apple. All right. All right. So if you look here, okay, right here, 227 and a half. Now this is from yesterday, so I'm sure it's the same. But the Apple closed yesterday at 220 and well 228, right? Very close to it. Right now it's at 226. Right now it's at 226. So this is the largest gamma level right now in Apple. Now it could have changed. All right, it could have changed. You know what? I'll do it live for you. I'll do it live for you. I'll do the gamma levels live here. This is the app that I coded myself. Let's see here, right here. So I can just put in the date today, and let's just I like to add Eli Lilly in there, and I'm gonna run it. And we'll check out. It's updating them live right now. As soon as it says process complete, we're done. All right, I'm just going to run it for the next monthly expiry. That is 12/20. While that runs, we can look at the levels. Okay. And I'll just give you the example. All right, so I'm going to open it up. Give me a sec here. Let's look at Apple. And let's see where the gamma is for today. Okay, that's what I thought. It changed. So 230 is the largest gamma strike for Apple for today. Okay. I expect Apple to probably close around that level today if it's around there. And it will do little tricks and stuff to go up to 232, 227, and then you'll just notice this thing start to die to 230. All right. Now, let's go to Amazon, like I said. So there's AMD. So this is Amazon's biggest strike is 215. Let's see. We can go to Nvidia. Like Google's is 180, but that's not by 180. So let's go to, there you go. Microsoft, largest gamma is 430. And where did Microsoft close yesterday? 423. 426, but it's down to 423. Spot. So you can see spot is the current price hike. Nvidia, the largest gamma strike is 148. That's at 145 right now. All right. The Qs is at 504 right now. All right. That doesn't really give us much. SPY, largest gamma strike is 594. It's at 590 right now. That's not going to help us too much. Tesla really is at 312 right now. The largest gamma next to it is like 310 and above 320. That's not going to help us. But look at, just go right to Apple. That's SPX from yesterday. 230. So just watch Apple 230, okay? And that's it for me. Give you a little bonus. Everybody have a great day. No trades to trade. Stay green. I'll see everybody next week.